Maybe Lena needed a friend in her hard times. Yeah, no, for sure. And, we get to know that they've been friends for forever, since they were kids. Since they were teens, at least. But I think since they were kids, I remember that. But definitely school times, right? And we don't know how they were back then. And I'm sure Savvy is tons of fun, as long as there's nothing serious going on. But friends are there, so you can count on them. And we know that the last time they stopped talking was also because they had a huge fight, which left Lena extremely upset and crying. And Savvy saying, like, you need to control your feelings, which is not typically how, a friend should approach a friend getting emotional. So yeah, really well done. I agree. I could do a whole seminar on this topic, but I'm not going to do that right now. People give him too many second chances. Yeah, maybe. I think also in a lot of cases, a lot of people may be in an emotional bind or like actually emotionally dependent on a manipulator. I saw the last 45 minutes, couldn't follow the story. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, there were hints here and there where, like, we knew that they were friends for a long time and they hadn't seen each other and talked to each other in a year because they had a huge fight, and Lena felt really, really guilty about that. Also typical. And all we really got to know about that was that she got really upset and angry and sad and cried, and, she has a lot of anxiety. And Savvy is fine. Savvy is this shining light, and everybody loves her and everybody's excited about her, and she has a new boyfriend every 2 months, and which, that in itself is not a problem, but, she's a social butterfly, by twisting, what do you say, twisting them around her finger. Is that what you say in English as well? Um den Finger wickeln? That's what we say in German, at least. To wind someone around your little finger. And yeah. I also really like, to get back to like the more game aspect of it, I really like how they translated this into the, well, not really mechanics, but the whole thing with the field grid, as creepy as it was. Of course, that's the central thing of the game, to show us, like, this is how she feels right now, and it influences the options she has to respond to things, and we kind of get to know about what makes her upset and what doesn't, and that kind of stuff. And so it's obviously very emotion-centered. It's very West Coast. Let's say that. It's very American West Coast. I wouldn't say getting a new partner often is a red flag, but I would ask myself why. Yeah, I mean, there can be many reasons for that, right? So if that's the only thing, I'm not saying, somebody who changes partners often is definitely a narcissist. Like, that's not the point. But like, in the whole picture that we get of Sadie, not Sadie, it kind of puts itself into this image of there's a facade of Sadie, and then there's the real Sadie, and the real Sadie is kind of shit, and especially because she blames other people for feeling bad when she treats them bad. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. Either because they didn't learn how to take responsibility, or because they know they can get away with it, or, As someone who has lived in LA, I will admit it is West Coast as AF. Yeah. For me, the immediate thought was more like Portland, Pacific Northwest, but I feel like this is just definitely West Coast vibe. Like, feelings, emotional responsibility, blah, 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 big hype. But I'm not being disparaging in that. Obviously, I have a lot of stocks in that topic. Otherwise, this wouldn't be engaging me so much. But San Francisco right here. Oh, is that where you are now? I only caught the last... Hey, Shalag! Hey, everyone, this is my friend Shalag, who has a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel, and he plays lots of games. He's amazingly good at games. Much better than I am. So you should go check him out. He recently played Hollow Knight to death. I don't know how long you've been playing it now, but like, hats off to you. But yeah. You meant the game with San Francisco? I'm confused. But yeah, but from that little excursion into what Shalag does, and that you should definitely go check him out. Thank you, Shalag. Far too long and I'm still not done with the bindings, oh boy. But you got the true ending though, right? I never got that far. And I played it a lot, and I'm pretty good at it too, but like, not that good. So yeah, only caught the last half hour or something. Know about this game. Know nothing about this game, but I'm loving the analysis. Thank you very much. I got kind of self-conscious about me like disrupting the final scene so often to just like speak my mind about it, but that's just kind of what came up for me, and I think that really speaks to the game's writing, at least, you know, how it affected me, about, you know, how well it portrays this sort of behavior, and also in the options that it gave you in responding to it. Like, I didn't play strategically at all. I just played that last dialogue according to how, like, what I felt was the most healthy response. And the most, like, this should be the point of this conversation. I shouldn't be defending myself. I shouldn't be dragging up bullshit. I shouldn't be trying to hurt her back. I should just I should just not play the game. Or play her game. And that ended up then, you know, getting a good result. I don't know if that's the only good ending, and if that was the only way to get to it. I'm pretty sure probably not. But I like how they, you know, work that in there. That you kind of have to be the emotionally responsible and standing up for yourself, Lena, to get to an ending that feels satisfying. Except for the fact that, like you said, Akator, that you don't actually get to see what you're being told about. Yeah. So very, very emotionally educational, in a way. People all over the West Coast give this type of vibe. Oh yeah. It's definitely kind of next level, and I think it's a very good thing overall. But it's the whole like emotional awareness, vulnerability, responsibility, always be aware of your feelings, of your thoughts. That's definitely a thing that's there. But I don't think they overdid it, because at the end of the day, even though this was the through line, that really wasn't what most of the game felt like at all. I don't know how it was to watch, but playing it, that wasn't really what I was concerned with most of the time. Like when Savvy came up, every time I was like, what's your deal? What are you doing? And also, you're a shit friend. But outside of that, like just talking to other people, etc., I didn't feel like I was being hit over the head with this messaging of like your feelings, even though they were literally right there the whole time. So I feel like that was really well done. And an innovative concept to put that in a game. Even though at the end of the day, it didn't affect that much. It gave us a few different answer options every now and then, but really, I don't think it probably changed the way of the game much, except maybe sometimes it locked us out of better or worse ratings or tips or whatever, which of course impacts the game, but you know, it's not going to be a huge difference. And I usually didn't pick answers with constantly keeping in mind what mood they were going to put me in. So yeah, definitely a few other ways to play this game. More geared towards being opportunistic or not opportunistic, but like keeping your own emotions out of the game more and being like, okay, how can I optimize this to where I have the most money at all times? I don't care about the welfare of my passengers that much. I'm gonna pick the people who tip me the most, etc. So yeah. So you got to see my first time blind, authentic playthrough. And yeah, very well written. I agree. And I really enjoyed the dialogues. Like sometimes there was stuff that I couldn't quite. Sometimes there were jumps in there or things where you could tell, oh, this wasn't the way they intended it to be done. So it kind of seemed off. But those were minor things. Most of the time I really enjoyed the dialogues and I was actually engaged. And I love that you could choose to be humorous, for example, or a little silly. I like that. I really like the personality that came out for Lena. When it comes to games like this, I'm always incredibly interested in seeing how different things can turn out. Oftentimes it ends up about the same or just a few general storylines. Yeah, that's my suspicion for this game too, that it's not going to be much different. So definitely I think the main storyline is going to be the same. I don't think you're ever not going to find Savy in her bunker, and I don't think she's ever not going to be a manipulative ass. But it would be interesting to know how much that last conversation and also maybe some end time events are affected by who you end up talking to or who you end up driving around. You can tell it can't be hugely different because there is no way for you to not meet Liam because it's a scripted event at the beginning of the game. You cannot not pick him up, I think, if I remember correctly. And I'm fairly certain that you can't not pick up Una at least once, because you have to meet her so she can get the passphrase for you later, etc. So there's definitely some scripting going on, but there were other people I could have picked up that I didn't, and other things that in my playthrough now were completely inconsequential, but maybe could have been more consequential in another playthrough. Yeah. I don't know if you've played them, but Telltale games are done so well as well. Yeah, I've played quite a few. I played the first 2 Walking Dead. I still haven't played Michonne. I've been wanting to play that for years now, like literally years. And very sad to learn that some stuff wasn't going to come out. I really enjoyed The Wolf Among Us. I'd say maybe even more than The Walking Dead, although The Walking Dead had me like curled up crying on the floor the first time I played it. And that's not even that much of an exaggeration. But yeah, I think it's fairly similar to that, right? You feel like you impacted the game a lot, but at the end of the day, it's probably not that big of a deal. Amazing username, says Zeitgeist828. Thank you very much. In some cases, it might have even be better to just leave it as a one-time experience, but my curiosity always gets the better of me. Yeah, same for me. Also, achievement hunting. Gotta at least play enough to get all the achievements. But no, I agree. Of course, you kind of ruin your experience, and also kind of the replay value if you just go through it to fish for different endings, etc., because you definitely take the magic away. But on the other hand, it's definitely interesting from a analytic perspective. Also, just came up with an alternative name for the game: Uber Dystopian Future Edition. Uber Cyber Uber Punk. I don't know. Definitely, I like The Walking Dead, but The Wolf Among Us, it's top tier. Like, I wish we had gotten a sequel. Yeah, same. And the thing is, I tried reading the comics that it's based on, and I really didn't like them very much. Like, I didn't read much because it just didn't captivate me. And I really enjoyed when I played them, when I played the game. Especially the whole, twisted fairy tale thing. Yeah, and I haven't played a game like these in a while, and I feel like I've kind of grown a bit away from them more because I'm now too impatient. I would probably just click through a lot of the stuff, which is a shame. Don't know. Like I said, there's still some Telltale games I haven't played, so maybe I need to try. Cyber Lift. Yeah. Lift Punk. This Liftop. No, all of these are bad. Speaking of, have you ever played Mythic Ocean? Nope, that turned out to be probably one of my favorite visual novel style games that grabbed me hard. No, actually I haven't heard of it even, which isn't that common. Because whenever I have a game that I'm like, oh, this is cool, either you add it to your wish list soon after, or I'm like, oh, Shalag has played this. Saying the comics weren't as good. Yeah, I really didn't like the characters. They didn't engage me as much. They were way too much like pointless talking and yeah, I don't know. Visual novel style games. And this also goes along with the do you like Japanese visual novels? Not really. I don't get into them very easily, and a lot of the time I get super fed up very quickly with a lot of the cliches that come up in them. And I would even say not despite, but like more so because I used to be an anime nerd, because I see some of this stuff and it just makes me cringe. Like super angsty teenagers and super cute or tsundere girls and that kind of stuff. Though I am aware there are visual novels that are like a little deeper than that. Like I said before, this game too, if I hadn't played it on stream, I probably wouldn't have like delved into it as deeply as I did. So I'm definitely glad I played it on stream, and the same would be true for visual novels. And I'm not sure if we would all profit hugely off me just doing, it's getting late, of me just doing visual novel readings. So I haven't played a lot of them. There's a free prologue on Steam, I believe, if that's your thing. Yeah, I might check it out. At least watch the trailer or something. Also, I might finally play Life is Strange at some point. I don't know. Many of the most famous Japanese visual novels are allowed to like 40 plus hours of reading. Yeah. Yeah. And I get pretty annoyed at bad writing very quickly. And yeah. Yeah. High standards, I guess. There's no way to say that without sounding a little arrogant, but yeah. Which is not to say that I'm saying that all visual novels are badly written, of course. It's just that, you know, my patience tends to run thin. But maybe I need to check some of those out. I definitely enjoyed this, and I think you hit the nail on the head with that evaluation. We talked about it a bit earlier. Definitely like a midway point between a visual novel and a Telltale game, like a dialogue-based visual novel. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this conversation, guys, but it's like 2:30 and I should get to bed. But thank you for sticking with me for this long. The stream got actually relatively full for our standards, so that was great. 4:30. Hey, you're still up. What the hell? Oh my god. Are you in Russia? No, wait, you're even further east than... Oh well, whatever. You don't have to disclose where you are, it's fine. You're literally in bed right now. Yeah, you should be, as should I. I still need to take all this makeup off. Oh well. Oh, what visual novel would you recommend, A Kidder? Steins Gate? I didn't know that was a visual novel. I just know that as an anime that I really wanted to watch, but then I never did because that was at like the edge point of me stopping to watch so much anime. Which, by the way, feels like that was like 10 years of my life, but in reality it was more like 2.5. But I remember feeling like, I'm never not gonna watch anime excessively. And then I didn't. Also, nice voice acting. Thank you so much. I enjoyed that too. Anyway, gotta go. I'm so horrible at ending streams. Jesus Christ. I gotta take a seminar on that sometime. Sleepy. Good. You're sleepy. Shalag's already in bed. I'm sleepy and I need to get to bed. So I think we're all on the same page. In that vein, thank you so much for sticking around, even though for some of you it's crazy late. Like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for enjoying the rest of NeoCab with me and also listening to my ramblings. I feel very validated. Bye bye, guys. Tschüss. Bis zum nächsten Mal.